Yep.
A little boy.
Then we don't have that formatted problem?
And he was calling.
Format? No, we don't.
And how much footage would you say is on that camera?
None.
None?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The next morning.
It's recording. Glendora, I will talk to you later, okay?
It is recording?
It is, ma'am.
And you see an REC?
I do, yes. And there you are on the camera clapping. Okay?
You are a friend in need, is a
Okay.
friend indeed.
That's right. I'll talk to you in about an hour and a half.
Oh, good, hon. Have
Okay.
a good time. I wish I was going with you.
Me too. You have a good time too. See you later.
Bye-bye, friend Madeline.
Okay.
Hi there, everybody. This is a meeting of the Glendora Vegetarian Club. We are in year number 8. It started in the year 1212. Back then, Glendora could see. Probably the most notable thing about the club is its record of helping animals. We have the vegan commercials on the 6:30 p.m. news, on CBS News, Albany, New York, Channel 6. They've been there since the year 2016. They're there the first week of every month of the year 2020, and they'll be there every week of the first week of the. They will be there the first week of every month of 2021. It's all paid for. The whole thing costs about $53,000 in airtime. Allegedly, it reaches 50,000 people per broadcast. I am dubious about that. But I know it reaches a lot because I have the feedback. That's why we wear these costumes, because people see the costume and then they tell you if they've seen the spot on TV. So it's really sort of a rating, like Arbitron or Nielsen. Now, in addition to the $53,000 on airtime we spent on Channel 6, we have spent about $32,000 in taking people to vegan restaurants. And we spent so much money to Friends of Animals, Mercy for Animals, Vegan Outreach, Farm Animal Rescue, Farm Animal Rights Movement, PETA. I would say on and on to about 10 to 15 others in addition. Sandy is coming, and Sandy is going to read to us from one of the many magazines about animals. I wondered, do you wonder about duplication? Having so many animal organizations, wonderful that it is, and they're all devoted in their own special ways, individual ways, but don't you think there might be duplication of postage and duplication of rent and things like that? Maybe they wouldn't be as effective if they were one great big organization. Our theme song was written by St. Francis of Assisi in the 1200s. All creatures of our God and King, lift up your hearts and let us sing. Just be kind, stop the cruel. Thou cows and pigs, leave them alone. The horses, hens and turkeys too. Save the fish, one with God. Just be kind. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We meet the last Wednesday of every month. This meeting is our 101st meeting. We have put on many vegan meals at restaurants and paid for them. We kept our cat vegan for years and years. Our dear kitty, who left us at age 15, 105 years old in people time. She was .com cat. Her name was .com. And I used to say to her, oh, by the way, that was on April 30th, April 27th in the year 2019. And I used to say to her, oh, .com, wouldn't it be awful if we ever got separated? But I'm glad I went first. I'm glad I saw her through to happiness all the way. With her very entertaining and amusing ways. They have such personalities, those dogs and cats. Every animal has such a personality. Every plant has a personality, really, when you stop to think of it. Come, ye thankful people, come, raise your song of harvest home. All is safely gathered in, ere the winter storms begin. God our Maker doth provide, for our wants to be supplied. Come to God's own temple, come, raise the song of harvest home. Write this down, folks. God our Maker doth provide, for our wants to be supplied. If you are vegan and if you are into helping others, and if you are without self, you can be sure that God your Maker doth provide for your wants to be supplied. It's only when you're selfish that you don't get what you want. It's only when you're egotistical you don't get what you want. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, you. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father. Brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, you. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be the solemn vow to live each day in peace and harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, with you. Okay, so we have spent $32,000 in this 8 years promoting veganism. What is veganism? It's kindness. It's living harmlessly. Just live harmlessly. My dear sweet husband, Franklin Fuller Buell, he lived harmlessly. And he was so popular and so loved because he lived harmlessly. He died at 83 in Chatham, New York on October 18th. That would be 2003. And he said to me, call my people. And I called his people. And for some reason, folks, I began to enumerate them. So that I can tell you, since 2003, A Chat with Glendora has made, these are out calls, not in calls, 67 No, we finished 67,000. 68,250 telephone calls, out calls. And you know, these computer phones, they will record that for you. They will give you a count. It's hard to find, but I think it's in there somewhere. But of course it's worn out several phones. But we do have a record. We do have the computer phones as reference books. Did I tell you about the man who said, "You mean with this little library card I can take out any book I want?" Yes. With this little library card I can take out any CD I want? Yes. With this little library card I can take out any DVD I want? Yes. With this little library card I can take out any librarian I want? No. The librarians are for reference use only. Now, the three big happenings of veganism in the year 2019. Burger King goes vegan with the Impossible Whopper, a vegan Whopper. Vegan organization offers Donald Trump $1 million to help the veterans any way that he wants, if he will go vegan for the month of January. I don't think it happened. And a similar offer was made for the Pope, for the poor people, and I don't think that happened. 3. Glendora Vegetarian Club goes to the mass media to ask people to go vegan to help the animals on the 6:30 p.m. news. How many ads? 260 have been made, and I think 150 have been shown. We want them all to be different because they have jokes in them, and jokes do not repeat well. Okay. Now, this is a Olympus microcassette. When did I lose my eyesight? February 7th, 2020. I haven't been out of the house since. I've been in the house for 7 months. The Glendora Happy House 3. And frankly, folks, I'd rather be here than anywhere. With all the electronics and all of the toys to get the message across. That after all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you treat others. This is the speaker clock. The speaker clock.
12:41 p.m. 83 degrees Fahrenheit. 12:41 p.m. 83 degrees Fahrenheit.
12:51.
12:41 p.m. 83 degrees
I think
Fahrenheit.
she said 12:41. And she's right about the temperature. That's the temperature inside the house. Okay. Everything is probe, probe, probe. And you waste so much time just probing. And you have so little time left at this age. 92 years old, no doctors, no medicine. 92 years old, no doctors, no medicine. Okay, we have 2 phones. Computer phones, and then we have a landline phone, which is very, very good. One thing I can remember that's on that phone to tell you is if all else fails, what's in your pocket? In the year 2000, living in New Rochelle, New York, right on the Atlantic Ocean, right on the Long Island Sound, I would lie on the grass of our front lawn and I would look up at the sky and see this most beautiful azure blue, A-Z-U-R-E, azure blue. It was so beautiful. and it was all over. Well, I haven't seen it since. You want to know why? Who is putting airplanes in the sky and exuding from those airplanes a goo? This goo comes out white, and it's very, very narrow, and the plane goes along and leaves the goo behind. Does this goo go away? Is it jet water condensation, which does go away very quickly? Don't be fooled. It is poison. And this goo spreads out, spreads out, spreads out. Pretty soon, your blue sky is gone. And your blue sky has never been that pretty azure blue again. It's a dirty blue. And it spreads out, and pretty soon that thing up there is all gray. Sometimes it even gets black. It's the goo replacing the blue. What's going on? It has something to do with warfare. And who's paying for this? And the EPA says, oh no, those are just condensation trails. They are not. We have tested them, and they have poison in them. They have barium in them. And other poisons. Go to the internet and look up Carney Calm. That's his name. That's the man's name. CarneyCalm.com. Look up barium blue. Look up goo in the blue. And it happens every day practically. There's never a day goes by when you used to have a blue sky. And then after this goo spreads out, you've lost your sunshine for the rest of the day. So I wanted to talk to you about that. And you know what? It occurred to me that this kind of warfare, instead of hydrogen bombs, it's a method of trying to smother people. This goo smothering us. And as I say, it's happening in Russia. And particularly it happens to us because we are in Albany, New York. And as a war target, you know, where Manhattan, the corridor, up the Hudson River, the corridor, from Manhattan, New York City, to Albany, the center of the New York state government. You can even extend that corridor farther to Washington, D.C. Do you think it's possible that it is a smothering device? And another thing occurred to me. This virus that escaped in China and caused so many quick deaths all over the world, hundreds of thousands of them, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, aunts, doctors, nurses gone, just like that. Do you think that China was experimenting with this coronavirus as a means of warfare, and it got out of hand? It escaped. A virus escaped, and it replicates so quickly. Do you think that's what happened? Certainly we told you not to eat animals. We've been telling you that a long time. They ate animals, and look what happened to them. They were destroyed by the destroyer. Do you think that could be? It certainly happened with Lyme disease. The ticks that they were experimenting with in Long Island and also in Connecticut, when all the children came up with rheumatoid arthritis. That was an accident. the ticks escaped and got into the populace. Isn't that bleak? But I want you to think about that. And see if you can find out for me, for all of us.
Live as last.
You can live this day as if it were your last day. You can live every day as if it were your last day, and someday you will be right. But it isn't the jokes I want to tell you.
Fit as a fiddle. With
Fit as a fiddle and shaped like a bass viol. Let's see what comes after the jokes. Let's go forward. Did you hear the rumor about butter? Don't spread it. What song were all the heads singing? There were a whole bunch of heads in the Hudson River, and they were all singing the same song. What was it? I ain't got nobody.
$60 money order. $85 money order. Post
David King got out his CD, Deep Into the Blue. We bought 3 of them. We sent him $60.
Put them in sleeves. Spread them out under the...
We are sending out 8 programs now, a different program for every week. We used to have them play them in June and repeat them in July, but now we're sending them out 4 new ones. They don't have to repeat them.
Alyssa, set a date for your mother to do the feature on the museum.
We want to give you a feature on the Glendora Franklin Museum for the preservation of the Pro Se Public Access newspaper record. Okay, go forward. This is a God agenda, a to-do list, a God agenda, an agenda of work to do for God, helping others.
Pat Nichols, will you buy a $60 money order and an $85 money order?
That's one is for Spectrum. The Spectrum said we didn't pay. We did pay. I let it go for a week, and so I'm just going to send them another $85. It's easier.
And will you bring us $200 from the...
ATM. This is not what I want to tell you.
The gold and the blue. About the Department of Motor Vehicles.
That is the worst scam I know, the Department of Motor Vehicles.
About Meals on Wheels.
I told you about that. Sandy is about to bring me, this is Friday, the 26th of June, and Sandy is about to bring me my Meals on Wheels for today at noon. It's going to be a pasta salad.
About Flash Cat, Clancy.
Flash Cat is here.
About Victor,
Madeline says he looks fine.
Patty, and the credit card.
Oh, about Victor. I had this friend, Patty, and she had a friend move in with her, Victor. And Patty went to the hospital, and while she was gone, Victor found her deceased husband's credit card. And Victor called up his friends and he says, "This is the number, and you can have this cruise to the Caribbean. Just put in this number in this application." So the couple put in the number in the application. They went off on a cruise on Patty's husband's credit card. The daughter found out about it. Patty's daughter found out about it. And Victor was arrested, and he was put in the county jail. And the detective, I said, "How long he let Victor out?" And he said, "Why?" He says, "I had to, because Patty wouldn't press charges." Did you know that's the way things went? Charges had to be pressed for him to be prosecuted. And so he went to work for somebody else, cooking.
They duplicated and making shows for September.
I told you
And
that.
4 shows each week.
This duplicator will make 6 dupes,
About
2 hours
no
each,
graduation
in 8 minutes.
because of the virus.
Yes, no graduations because of virus. The children who finish their senior years in high school this year, no graduation because of the coronavirus. 6 feet apart, social distancing, wearing masks. I showed you the masks last program.
About being boring, about being hopeful.
I told you that.
No,
She's doing lectures on virtue.
about Rose hopeful. About wheels on wheels.
Think I got them all?
About the sponsor in Philadelphia.
Yeah, a sponsor in Philadelphia doesn't like my show. So this is why I'm making a new show. This is a special for you, Philadelphia, PhillyCam. Where'd this whole thing start about having a sponsor for a public access TV show? The only thing I can think of, folks, that there was this organization in Washington, D.C. called the National Association of Television something. And public access just came into existence. It was a brand new thing, public access. Finally, Congress made a law that enabled a city to require a franchisee cable operator to reserve 3 channels for the public. Public access, educational channel for the schools, and government channels for the city council meetings. PEG, PEG. Well, now the cities, all of a sudden they have these channels, and they don't know a thing about television. So this organization, I am hypothesizing, in Washington, D.C. says, here's a chance for us to make a lot of money. We will go to these cities and we will teach them how to use public access. And in doing so, they came up with this wacky rule that you have to have a local person sponsor your show. If I live in the Albany area, I have to have a local person who lives in Yonkers sponsor my show in order to have it on in Yonkers. There is no statutory authority for this. And yet these public access TV stations have been able to enforce that clear across the country to a lot of exertion to us producers. Now, I have 75 TV stations, and of those I would say 65 of them require sponsors. Some don't require a sponsor. So where did this whole thing happen in the first place? And I repeat, it has no statutory authority. There is no legal basis for it. And they could all be sued for that. I'm not in the mood to sue. But I will say this. Even though it is a nuisance, folks, and a lot of hard work, some of my very, very best friends over the past 48 years, 49 years of doing public access, some of my very closest and deepest and most profound friends have come from that relationship. Their being a sponsor of the Chat with Glendora in their locality. And that includes the one in Philadelphia who's complaining about the show. He doesn't think it's good enough. He doesn't think it's worthy of his sponsorship. He doesn't think it should be admitted. He doesn't think it should be he doesn't think it's admissible. Admit means to allow entrance to. Admissible means worthy to be admitted. So he wants this kind of a show. He likes this kind of show where I talk to you directly about all these things.
About having a sponsor, where did that start? What good do viruses do?
Yes, what good do viruses do? Please research and find out for me. Let's see what Google says. Hey Google! Hey Google! Hey Google! What good do viruses do? No answer. Let's ask it my other Google. I have 3 phones here, that means you have 3 times as many phone problems. Hey Google, what good do viruses do?
Here's what I found on the web.
Can you read it to me, Google? I'm blind, I can't see, honey. Well, she found something. Read it to me, please. Okay. I think we're almost at the end of lists to discuss with you.
About David King and his CD.
See, back in the old days when I could see, I could write. Then I could read. I could write a list and read it and do it that way with you. But now, that's gone. This is the only way I can think of.
A DVD.
What?
About erasing a DVD.
Yeah. It's easy to do. You just go to the menu, not the menu, but go to the disk edit, and you press this, and this, and this, and then it writes. What it is a rewrite. It writes over it, black. And we have 100 of those to do. 100 mistakes we've made in DVDs.
Here's from people who watched TSS Glendora in the Satellite 6 from 1955 and 1962.
Yeah, every week somebody comes forth and remembers it and talks about it. I'm going to tell you about the plywood again. the man is scared to death and he goes to the priest to confess. He says, I stole plywood from the place where I work. And the priest says, well, that's not bad. I made a birdhouse. Well, a birdhouse, you could make that from scraps. That's nothing. He says, well then, I made a playhouse down cellar for the children. Well, that could be made from scraps too. So I don't see anything so bad about that. He says, well, the children wanted a playhouse outdoors. They wanted a little meeting house outdoors. Ah, now you're getting into it. That took a lot of plywood. He says, and then my son got married, and so we added a room to the house. And the priest says, now, this is bad. This is really bad. And the priest said to him, do you know how to make a novena? And the man says, if you have the floor plan, I have the plywood.
And shoe kitty shoe. And about the sterling silver cross.
The shoe kitty too, my friend and I were talking to another friend, we were on the sidewalk, and a little kitty was rubbing up against our friend's ankles. You know how they do when they want you to feed them. And she's rubbing up against the friend's ankles, and the friend is saying, shoe kitty, shoe kitty, shoe kitty. And the kitty's looking up to say, which shoe? I've tried both of them. And then what was the other one? Oh yes, this. The cross of Christ. And I was showing it to my friend. I said, this is really well-made material. Look what it says, sterling silver. And my friend takes it and looks at it and it says stainless steel.
About no eyesight.
No eyesight. It is hard. But Alyssa is all the eyesight I need to run this great big ship, A Chat with Glendora, making TV shows. It'll be 49 years in August. It'll be 60 years in television of making TV shows. The first 20 years were broadcasts. The last 49 are public access TV, cable TV. Alyssa's all the eyesight needed to run this great big ship. Because I can sit here and say, you know, press that button and make 10 of these and wrap them, and these are the addresses, and take care of the in-mail, the U.S. mail, and take care of the computer phone mail, take care of the Glendora Vegetarian Club, the Glendora Franklin Museum for the preservation of the Pro Se public access record. I can do all that. I can say, I can remember how it was done and give directions how to do it. But the ambulating and the navigating, when you can't see anything, you don't have a clue, and feeling and probing and probing. Well, this is only the seventh month. March, April, May, June, July. No, it's only the 4th month. Maybe it'll probably improve.
Video commercials off of the TV.
Yeah, we did that. We came out
And
and said,
dictating letter.
can't do that yet.
47 years, 13,000 programs, etc.
And 75 TV stations. A Chat with Glendora is the longest running public access television show in the world. It'll be 49 years in August, It's 75 TV stations, Boston to San Francisco. No, that's wrong. Boston to San Diego, although it is on in San Francisco. Boston to San Diego. And how many shows? Right now, it's up to about 13,200.
Years, 13,000 programs, etc.
Is that the end? Hooray! The words. Admit. To grant entrance to. Be very careful what you grant entrance to your thought. Pure thoughts, no negative, second level, trivial, ugly. Do not admit wrong thought. Admissible, worthy of being admitted. Be sure that everything goes into your mind and also into your stomach is admissible, worthy to be admitted. This is an interesting word. Admonish. It means to warn of a thought, it means to warn of a fault. Gently and kindly, folks, but seriously. What does ad nauseam mean? That's pretty graphic, that's pretty literal. To the nausea. Do you know what Adonis is? Capital A-D-O-N-I-S. That's a handsome young man. That was the Greek word for a handsome young man. Adonis. Now, was there anything else? What day is it? June 26th, Friday, 2020, Anno Domini, A.D., the year of our Lord. I hope that Sandy will be by to discuss with you some of the good deeds that are being done to help the animals and franchise them from this cruelty. In the meantime, glow with the Spirit Divine. May the peace of God, which passes all understanding, dwell in your heart and mind. That great peace from living not for self ever, but for living to help others. That is the oneness of the universe. You're living to move the universe forward and make it grow and glow and keep it going. Try to think of 10 great things that God has created. Try to think of 10 of them every hour. Just the whole idea, the concept of life. Just the concept of it. And then how to do it. How to make a blueprint. How to manufacture it. And then to manufacture it. Billions of them. Billions of forms of life. And over millions of years. How's that for 10 great things about God? The peace that passes all understanding. Because our understanding of God passes us. come thou all happiness. Helping the world we go, caring and sharing. Helping all glorious or all victorious. Gone is the selfishness, ego is out. Ooh. The camera on the edge of a desk. Ooh. Hi there, everybody. We are back. I'm going to get a bigger mask.
3, 2, 1.
Hi there, everybody. You think this is an improvement? I do. It covers up half of my face. This is a much better show now. Our friend Sandy Blakeman is going to read to you an article from the magazine for the Committee on Ethical Medicine. He has been favoring for a long time eliminating the cruelty to animals that's involved in training our medical personnel. Hello, Sandy.
Hello everyone. This is from the magazine Good Medicine, and the headline here on the cover of the magazine is EPA's new plan to end animal testing.
Good.
Non-animal technology comes of age.
Excellent.
So I'll just see if I can find where that article is.
And this would be Dr. Bernard who started it. He's an MD, and he couldn't stand the cruelty of animal experimentation in medical training. So it's the committee for...
Well, I'll read the article. Physicians Committee.
Physicians Committee.
56,000 Physicians Committee members signed petitions to the Environmental Protection Agency. And the Vice President of Research Policy, Christy Sullivan, joins Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Andrew Wheeler for this announcement.
And what was the petition against?
They're to end animal testing.
End animal testing, yes.
Because they now have the technology to do research without harming animals.
Isn't that great? Hallelujah.
Would you like me to read the article?
Sure, or just paraphrase it. You do that you're very good at paraphrasing.
Well, I haven't read it yet, so I could be hard to paraphrase it without reading it.
Well,
I'll read the first paragraph.
All right.
Each year, under the EPA's purview, hundreds of thousands of animals are killed to test chemicals. Not only do animals suffer terribly during the testing, but animal tests have well-known scientific flaws. They're slow and expensive, hampering our ability to detect and restrict the most dangerous chemicals. Plus, differences between species mean that the results of animal tests may not be applicable to humans. I urge you to make the 21st century toxicity testing a reality. Update your regulations and policies to require non-animal test methods today.
That's enough. Thank you.
Well, that's the wording of the petition
That's
signed
enough.
by 56,000 committee members.
Yes, that's enough. Go on to another one, dear.
A different article?
Yes. No, we got the gist of that.
Well,
It's terrible. Can you imagine our little dogs and cats? Can you imagine how that is? How can they look them in the eye and do that to them? And then throw them in the wastebasket? And you know, people say, why don't you go to the doctors for your eyes?
okay, here's
Well-
one you'll like.
But there's one thing that I think about that, folks, that everything they know about eye surgery, they found out by torturing thousands of our little puppies and kitties and throwing them in the wastebasket.
Here's one called, the article is about nutrition
Yeah?
and prevention of disease. And the headline is, Doctors Tell Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee to Ditch Meat and Dairy. The Physicians Committee testified before the 2020 Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee at the U.S. Department of Agriculture on July 11th to advise that the 2020 to 2025 dietary guidelines for Americans should ditch meat and dairy products to help all Americans keep all Americans healthy.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a good summary. Can you
Yeah.
give us another article?
Well, Dr. Barnard says doctors need nutrition education.
Yeah, oh, that's for sure. Can you expatiate on that?
Most overweight, diabetes, heart disease, and many forms of cancer are driven by unhealthful diets,
Yes, indeed.
and most doctors do not have the knowledge to turn this problem around.
Right.
61% of internal medicine residents reported having little or no training in nutrition.
That's it. What their training is in, Sandy, is in pharmaceuticals.
Right.
They spend a whole year, 2 years training in pharmaceuticals and maybe a month on nutrition.
While 94% of resident physicians recognize the importance of diet and feel that nutrition counseling should be part of patient visits, only 14% feel trained to offer it.
That's right. That's enough. Go on to the next one. Please.
Plant-based diet leads to Crohn's disease remission. Eating a plant-based diet may be an effective treatment for Crohn's disease, according to a case study co-authored by Hanna Kaliova, MD, PhD, Director of Clinical Research at the Physicians Committee.
Oh. What is Crohn's disease?
It's a terrible disease. I'm just scanning the article to see if it explains it. It doesn't
Okay.
really
Well,
explain,
let
but
me
it
ask Google.
causes some digestive problems.
You want me to ask Google?
Here we go. So some of the symptoms of Crohn's disease are fatigue, bloating, episodic severe abdominal pain, nausea, and occasional ulcers.
Yuck. And
Yeah.
so she's found something that will help that. All right.
Yeah, the plant-based diet is meant to help that.
Of course it will.
And it's meant to help with diabetes. People from all over the world who attended the American Diabetes Association's 79 scientific sessions in San Francisco in June learned about the power of a plant-based diet for those with type 2 diabetes. With diabetes rates rising and insulin costs soaring, this research offers hope that a solution could be close at hand, the food on our plates.
Yep.
The results add to the evidence that a plant-based diet should be considered a frontline treatment for type 2 diabetes.
Very good, Sandy. You're doing great. Do you notice that we are practicing social distances? Sandy is... Sandy
I'm over here!
Yeah, Sandy is so far away from me, she's off camera.
Here's one. Doctor-led protests confront fast food in hospitals.
Okay, go after that one.
Okay. Physicians Committee members Sarah Stanczyk, MD, and Paula Rothman recently led protests at the Burger King in University Hospital in Newark, New Jersey, and McDonald's in Northside Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia, respectively urging the hospitals to go fast food free.
To what?
To go fast food free.
Oh, okay.
A study published in the journal Circulation found that people who eat meaty, cheesy fast food once a week increase their risk of dying from heart disease by 20%.
Wow.
2 to 3 fast food meals a week increase the risk of premature death by 50%.
Wow.
4 or more fast food meals a week increase the risk of dying from heart disease by nearly 80%.
There you go, Sandy. They should eat what you're giving me. What you put in your pasta salad? I'm going to show it to the people.
Well, it's pasta. It's by your right elbow, Glendora. It's pasta, olives, tomatoes, green peppers, red peppers, corn, and onion.
Am I showing it to the camera?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that's a kind... Why is that healthy? Salubrious. Why is that?
Why is it healthy?
Yeah, what makes that healthful?
Well, olives and olive oil are meant to be very healthy. Tomatoes and peppers are high in vitamin C, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how healthy corn and pasta are.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, that
Very.
depends on who you ask. There are a lot of people who don't eat pasta anymore.
Oh, well, you have to have carbohydrates.
Well, anyway.
You have to have carbohydrates like potatoes. I think it's delicious.
Well, potatoes wouldn't be processed the way pasta is processed.
That's right.
So, potatoes, you eat them as they come. So here's one about...
What do you use for sauce? Tell us what you put to sauce.
Olive oil and a raspberry walnut vinaigrette.
Do you use salt and pepper?
Sometimes, but I might have forgotten to put salt and pepper on. Would you like some salt and pepper?
No, thank you. Now tell us again.
Yes.
This is the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, and it's
It
in,
just says Physicians Committee. It doesn't say
in
what.
Washington D.C. and the founder is Dr. Bernard, Neil Bernard. Okay, Sandy, go. Maine, full speed ahead.
Well, here is Native American medical centers provide plant-based prescription. So this is the Gallup Indian Medical Center in New Mexico, and it's working on incorporating more plant-based meals into its practice. And people are visiting the center to provide training and help to prepare for a 4-week employee wellness program. There was a 2-day training session kicked off by Fifilia Nez, the First Lady of the Navajo Nation. She gave opening remarks. 100 healthcare professionals attended the training sessions where they learned the science behind a plant-based diet.
Okay, we got it.
60 cooks, kitchen staff, and community leaders also tested 12 new recipes and rated them for possible inclusion on the cafeteria menu.
Yes, thank you. Well, Sandy, that was quite a good coverage of the Dr. Bernard's magazine, Good Medicine. Do you see a paper over there on the Vice President's desk that has the new jokes on it? Is there a paper over there, or is that over here? Or?
I'm looking.
One of the new jokes is,
Okay, yeah.
go ahead with them.
Shoe, kitty, shoe.
Okay, we did that one, all right.
Cross, sterling silver.
Yep, we did that one.
Plywood.
Yep, we did that one.
Okay, well, I'm not...
Now, do you see that list that you brought in?
The list that I made last time I was here?
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm not actually at the vice president's desk. I'm on the other side of the desk,
Oh, okay.
maintaining social distancing.
Did you measure it? Is it 6 feet?
No, I would say it's not 6 feet. I'd have to stand on the other side of the window to get 6 feet in.
You'd be outdoors.
Oh, here we go. Maybe. Let's see. Nope. I don't know what happened to it, Glendora.
Okie doke. One was, have you heard the rumor, Sandy, about butter?
What's the rumor about butter, Glendora?
Don't spread it. All right. Are we through, or did you want to say anything about the coronavirus?
All I want to say about the coronavirus is keep wearing your masks, keep being careful, protect the nurses and doctors and the people you love. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Very good. Do you wear goggles, Sandy?
Well, I wear glasses when I'm helping you. If I go to the grocery store, I wear goggles. And I try very hard to remember not to touch my eyes.
Oh, yes.
The eyes are a major conduit for the virus.
Oh, and the nose and the mouth. And keep your hands away from your face. Glendora, a chat with Glendora has been telling you that for years, folks. The only time you let your hands touch your face is if you're in the bathroom, where you can wash them.
Right.
Let's see, Sandy, something else. How about gloves?
I wear gloves. If I go into a store, I wear gloves. I don't wear gloves if I'm near a sink, because I just wash my hands instead.
And now when you're doing a chat with Glendora, do you wear gloves?
I am not wearing gloves because you have a sink here with soap.
Okay, okay. Well, shall we say goodbye and thank you?
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Grace and peace unto you and all those you love, everybody. Thank you, Sandy, for joining us.
Amen. Glendora,
Yes, dear.
will you tell me about this beautiful shelf you have over here? This wasn't here the last time I came.
No, isn't that wonderful? And I called the owner of the property and I asked for a shelf. And there's no reason that the owner of the property should provide you with your shelf. But cheerfully and with alacrity, Julie Otterbeck sent somebody over, it was Bill, and he installed that shelf. And I'm sure it cost her around $60 or $70 for labor.
Oh, it's just terrific. And I recognize some of the things on this shelf, like the awards that you got from the American International College. I'm just going to zoom in on that.
Yes, and you went
Yeah.
to that celebration.
I did. That was a lovely luncheon they gave you, and you told jokes. And
That's the American International College Hall of Fame.
yeah, that was nice. And then this one over here from the Alliance for Community Media.
Well, that's very important. That says that A Chat with Glendora public access TV show is the longest running TV public access show in the world.
Wonderful. Thank you for your lifelong dedication, it says. That's great. And then I'm looking at some great photographs of you.
Oh yes, thanks guys.
Yeah. There you are on Satellite 6.
Maureen Soleri for sending those photographs.
Yeah.
Now I have never been able to see them because I went blind. Could you tell me about them?
Oh, they're lovely. So here's one of you with a photograph of Felix the Cat, and it looks like you're at a big control panel. So you must be in the television station.
That's Satellite 6.
Yeah, and then here you have a stuffed animal, Felix the Cat, in this little box. Tell me, you know what, Glendora, hold on. Hello, here we are today with Glendora Buell at home and in her office. And
Hello.
hi, Glendora.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you for your visit.
Well, it's nice to see you, Glendora. I'm noticing that here you have something that wasn't here the last time that I came. I'm looking at this new shelf over here.
Yes, that was put in by the owner, Julia Otterbeck. I called and asked her for a shelf, and she had no reason or purpose or compulsion to give Glendora a shelf, but she did it with great alacrity, and I'm sure it cost her about $70 in labor.
It's just beautiful, Glendora, and I recognize some of the special things on your shelf here, and let's tell people about them. Here we have an award from the American International College, the Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, yes, and you went to that with me, Sandy.
I did, and we had a very beautiful luncheon. They gave you a lovely luncheon, and you told jokes, and it was great.
The award is that Glendora, A Chat with Glendora is the world's longest running public access TV show and still going, Sandy.
Wonderful, very nice. And over here we have the Alliance for Community Media and award, and that's the one you just spoke of, the longest public access, longest running show, and your lifelong dedication.
Isn't it amazing what the public will stand?
And then some beautiful photographs here.
Yeah, tell me about those, Sandy, because those came in after I lost my eyesight. What are they about?
Oh, well, here's you're looking very young and beautiful in all of these, Glendora. There's a young Glendora standing next to an object that says Satellite 6, and it looks, it's very large and round with antennas coming out of it.
Yes, that was the TV show between 1955 and 1962 on General Electric WRGB Channel 6.
Cool.
New York Capital District.
And then here you are. I love this one. You've got just the sweetest smile, and you're with a young man, and the Satellite 6 is behind, and you're both smiling, very, very nice. And he's holding something, I believe it's a train. This looks like it might be like a model train set in a box. It says
wow.
La Rose.
Oh, gee, that's right.
Yeah, neat.
Oh, that's right. It must have been a gift. It must have been a prize.
How nice. And then we have, this would be the SS Glendora, because everybody's wearing their...
SS Glendora, all hands on deck, return to your duty, full speed ahead.
Yeah, that's a great picture of you with the kids.
Swab the deck.
Everyone's looking very sharp. All the young gentlemen are wearing their ties, and there are two young ladies here as well. Very nice.
Yeah.
And then here's one. This is you with a picture of Felix the Cat, and at the controls of some equipment. And then right behind this picture, we have an actual Felix the Cat in a box.
Isn't he endearing?
Tell me about this Felix the Cat.
Well, Felix the Cat goes way, way back. He was a very early cartoon character. And he was revived in a cartoon that made the markets in 1961. And he ended up as Channel 6 bought the rights to it and showed them on Channel 6. The interesting thing about Felix the Cat is that in 1938 World's Fair in Queens, you remember, in Flushing?
Yes, yes.
You remember reading about it?
Yes.
Well, in 1938 was the first demonstration of television, and they called it Radio with Pictures. And they actually originated a television signal from Schenectady to Flushing, Queens. And if you go to Proctor's Theater, you will see a plaque there that honors that occasion. But what does it have to do with Felix the Cat? Well, the signal that they sent was Felix the Cat because he was black and white.
Okay, very good. I like that. And then you have some snowmen here. Three jolly
I
snowmen.
think that's a beautiful piece of work, don't you?
Yeah, they sweet.
Mommy and Dad, snowman, and the little baby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very nice.
What did one snowman say to the other?
What did one snowman say to the other?
I haven't seen our friend Herb around lately, have you? No, not since he left for Florida.
And here's a picture of you wearing your snowman costume.
Oh yeah, oh that's there too.
With the lovely orange cat. Yes, that's what's not on the shelf, it's on the wall. But Glendora, I've saved my favorite item for last. I haven't seen this before. And this is a beautiful teddy bear. Please tell me about this teddy bear.
That is the teddy bear of Franklin Fuller Buell, my husband for 48 years, my connubial joy, my conjugal bliss. And the moment he was born, when he was first week baby, Susie brought him that teddy bear. Now that goes back 101 years.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be just about when teddy bears came in as a toy?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, he's splendid, and he is the most
I love
the best dressed teddy I've ever seen. He's wearing a bright red bow tie. He's got, trousers and an overcoat, and he's got a vest and a button-down shirt. He is splendid, and he's got lovely little paws sewn on, and
He's sartorial splendor.
oh, he's fantastic. I think he's one of the nicest teddies I've ever seen.
Well, Franklin
Lovely.
himself was always a very snappy dresser. He never went out without being dressed up.
Well, then it's fitting that he should have had a teddy bear like this.
Yeah.
I was just reading some of Franklin's poems and newspaper articles the other day.
Yes, there's over 70 volumes.
I like the way that he would write a poem in response to a real-life event. He would write a news story about something nice that had happened, and then he often had a poem about it also.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I thought that was really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for telling us about this special shelf, and
Oh, I enjoyed sharing it with you, dear Sandy.
yeah, very nice.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What did one ghost say to the other ghost?
What did one ghost say to the other ghost?
Frankly, I don't believe in people.
But you do, Glendora. You believe in people.
Yeah.
And I like the dedication of Franklin's, the one poetry book that I looked at. It was dedicated to my dear Glendora, who appreciates and encourages. And that's exactly what you do, Glendora, for so many people.
I made him get up at 5 o'clock and write a poem every day. Every week.
I guess that was the encouragement part.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about that.
Wonderful. Well, yes, you are a taskmaster as well. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Grace and peace.